The segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone pair fee. A big thank you to them. All the gadgets that you need, just make sure you go to Franco Trading Enterprise and they've got you sorted. Is it mobile phones, television sets, CCTV cameras? Worry no more because we've got you covered. Now you can actually download the app on your phone to make things very simple, which is the Franco Trading app. Or for further inquiries, visit our website www.francotradingenterprise.com. Franco Trading Enterprise still phone pair fee. KMJ recently got a CCTV from them, right?
Yep. Beautiful stuff. And the good thing is that you don't even have to worry about how you're going to do installation and all of those things. It's pretty simple. Once you follow the steps, you're good to go. And you can monitor anywhere, anytime. The picture quality, top notch, yeah. And we love it.
So to make sure you are able to monitor everything that happens in your surroundings, just go to Franco Trading Enterprise. They've got you covered. Now, KMJ, quite interesting, State of the Nation's address. Let me ask you first of all, what's your overall take on it?
I think it was progressive, and I think it was a forward-looking, kind of address. It tells you where we were, but then again, the positive or the hope that was given overweighs the issue of what we've had to inherit. You understand? It's not the usual, and both NPP and NDC have gone through these processes before. It's the usual, oh, I didn't have this, we didn't get this, they didn't leave this, they left that, and all of that, in the past. But now, I think the Renaissance is really taking over a better part of what we see as a nation. And so for me, I think that it was good, it was progressive, it was forward-looking, and we should just back it with actions, and we're all going to be okay. One thing though, maybe I think that he may have looked at it from a different perspective, the mindset of the Ghanaians. If you're not careful, no matter what you do, if you're not able to constantly remind us to be Ghanaians, to reset our minds, to be able to support, everything that we've said we're going to be doing, we may end up going back to where we were. Because if you're resetting and the minds of the people are the same as we used to be, because you see the president can do a reset and ensure that the country is clean, or some of our cities are clean. But if the people are not ready to make it happen, you will still be doing whatever you want to do and still be going backwards.
Right.
You put a dustbin here, somebody wakes up at dawn at 2 a.m. or at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. and we'll remove it and send it to their house or somewhere.
Anyway.
So we need that reset mindset,
right.
You understand? So I think moving forward, the president should constantly remind us that I am doing this with you. If you back me up, if you cooperate with me, we'll get better.
Okay. Well, talking about that, we'll quickly read what the newspapers have for us. I'll start with the Daily Dispatch newspaper. The Daily Dispatch. John Dramani Mahama, will fix Ghana's economic challenges. This is what he said and many more during the State of the Nation's address. Dr. Opoku Prempeh responds to Mr. Bryce Simmons. And yesterday, was it 2 days ago that we spoke about it, where there's been an unpopular opinion that he was the reason why the NPP lost massively. Anyway, he's responded finally. 85% of awarded contracts in road sector stalled, and this is coming from the President, John Dramani Mahama. That's all for the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Okay.
All right, so let me take the Daily Graphic this one. It says, amid gloomy economic outlook, we will build Ghana together. President assures nation, and the public debt stands at 721 billion Ghana cedis, and that's President Mahama who's reviewed where our public debt stands, 721 billion Ghana cedis. And minority describes SONA as lamentations, but majority says it's message of hope. And it's got the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, captured on the front page. At the back page, quickly, European Union hands over equipment to Ghana Armed Forces, immigration foils, and another cocoa smuggling. That's a good one as well. Anyway, that's the Daily Graphic this morning.
Right, let me do the Daily Democrat newspaper. Immigration Service foils cocoa smuggled in drums at Gagrig checkpoint, and this is what KMJ read earlier. Englishi Alata chiefs accuse Regional House of Chiefs of fraudulent induction. Traditional herbalists call for government government support. And the banner headline, which reads, "I will fix the mess," Mahama assures. And this assurance, if you do believe or you don't believe, you still have to be a part of our conversation by sending your messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. You can also leave your message on Facebook. Let's know what your take on the State of the Nation's address is with regards to what the president spoke about yesterday. Okay.
The last one will be the Ghanaian Times this morning. It says the most authoritative newspaper on the front page. It has the president there, and it said, "Sooner 2025, I will fix economic crisis, reset Ghana to growth, prosperity." And that's President His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Away from that, we will make free SHS better, says the president. Now, in Kukon Kete project to benefit 55,000 households nationwide. Page 14 has got a story on that. And Hajj Tax Force set March 13 deadline for package payment. Fix economy, stop lamenting, minority tells president. And that will be the Ghanaian Times this morning, Rose.
Yep. And that's all for what the newspapers have for us this morning. We've been joined by our guests. But before then, let's not forget to send in our messages to us on 055-157-5757, 055-157-5757. Now, as you send your messages, you can actually go on Facebook as well, hit the share button. We actually will go on Facebook to start with Facebook comments before we even go on WhatsApp to read comments there. So do go on Facebook, leave your messages on Facebook, and we will later go on WhatsApp to read messages. A big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Let's welcome our guest joining us this morning, Mr. Benjamin Quashie, who is representing the NDC this morning, and he is actually the chairperson for the Council of States members for South Africa, NDC members. Good morning.
Good morning, Rosalie.
How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
It's good to have you here.
Good to be here.
Great. And so today is all about the State of the Nation's address. Yes. And I know you are beaming with smiles.
This is the most refreshing State of the Nation address I've ever had. I'm sure that with the discussions going on, we'll understand why it's the best. This is hope. This is a call to action. And I believe that this is the right course for Ghana.
Did you see the minority coming into the house in black?
Yes, I did. I did. I was in the chamber myself, so I did see them come with black. I think that it is something we've done over the years. NDC has also done it before, MPP has also done it before. But what is the significance? I think that we should move from the theatrics and then focus on the bread and butter issues for which the Ghanaian people put us in parliament to do. I'm sure that they had a reason why they wore that. Significantly, I don't know.
Well, speaking on the floor of Parliament, the majority leader actually emphasized that it's because of where they are coming from or where they left the economy. That's the reason why they came in black.
Yes.
So what, they left the economy dead?
Yes,
so they came to bury the economy or something? Because if you say something like that, and you're just trying to tell us that we are mourning the economy we left.
They didn't think about it.
They didn't think about it like that, but then so you were.
Yeah, it backfired.
They didn't see it that way.
Anyway, so your general overview of the SONA.
I think this was the most candid SONA that we've had with the president coming up with the fact as it is. I was happy when he indicated that he had come to lay bare what he inherited, what his plans are. I've heard our colleagues on the other side say that this is a lamentation SONA. It was not. He preferred the solution to the problems we have as a country. And as enormous as it is, and now that the president has laid it bare, we all know the economy. We all know the challenges that we are going to face as a people. And I think that once he has told us as the Ghanaian people what the challenges are, it doesn't lie again in his hands to give any excuse. He has been voted to fix it, and like he said, indicated rightly, he says he will fix it. And I believe that he will fix it. My most important takeaway was when he spoke about the free SHS and also about the youth unemployment. I think that these are areas that we are so much concerned about. And now that the president has reiterated it clearly, that he's not going to cancel and he's not going to encourage youth unemployment, I think that we should pat him in the back and ensure that we hold him accountable to his words.
Over 2 million youth that are unemployed. That's quite a huge number. And when he said it, there was an uproar in Parliament.
Yes.
How will he fix this?
Well, like he indicated, there are a lot of things that he's going to roll out in the days to come, starting with the budget that the Honorable Finance Minister is going to read, starting also with the economic forum that we are going to have. We've done the educational forum as well. So these are take-homes that the President knows will give him a solution to the problems that we are currently having. Most of the issues, if you ask me, has to do with funds. And so it comes at a time where you realize that he indicated during the health part of the SONA what the challenges will be going forward with the U.S. also withdrawing some funding to us as a country. I think that all in all, if he's able to cut down costs, which President Mahama has reiterated every day that he's going to cut down costs, if he's able to cut down costs and ensure that government machinery doesn't take too much chunk from the budgets that they will be presenting, I think we'll be able to get to where he believes that we can get to.
And I said this earlier, and it has to do with the mindset of the people right now. Speaking in Parliament, and we've had people make comments after the SONA. Even in Kumasi, we heard some of the things that people are saying over there. I don't know what the President intends to do in terms of making sure that the attitude and the mindset of Ghanaians is something that he's also taking a look at. Because then you can have all the things put in place. If you're not careful, how the people think and how they want to do their things will make it very difficult for you to achieve what you want to achieve. Elsewhere, the systems help.
Yes.
So there are certain things you as an individual, you can't just do it because the system is in place to take care of that. But in our setting right now, you have to constantly drum that idea into people's head.
Yes.
Is that something we're going to be seeing happen?
I think
because
that
you have all the bold solutions and everything, but
yes, in other jurisdictions, like you said, the system supports the government in doing what they have to do. I think that also resonates with the campaign message that the NDC ran on, saying that we should build the Ghana we want together.
Okay.
So he's not going to do it alone. The NDC is not going to do it alone. So each day you see us drumming home the fact that let's build the Ghana we want together. Okay. So collectively, each day we'll remind the Ghanaian people that this is not a solo journey that the NDC is going through. This is not a one-man do-it-all affair. This is all of us coming together, ensuring that once the system is there and the system is not also infiltrated by politicians or the discussion is not directed by politicians and the politicians are held accountable, I'm sure that we should all as a country come together and then build the Ghana we want.
And I also like the issue of accountability and the emphasis he kept putting on accountability.
Yes.
And he has set the example for himself. I mean, he's declared his asset, is giving a deadline for everybody else to also do that. In terms of cooperation, the people he has chosen to work with him, and he mentioned that everybody that I've chosen for you to work with me, I know the reason why I put you there, and you have to make sure that you're doing what I want.
Exactly.
Are the people ready to make this happen?
I think if they are not ready, they shouldn't be where they are. I'm sure that it's part of the entire contract sort of that the president has given them. I believe that if the president, as the commander-in-chief, has declared his assets, what stopped you as a minister to also declare yours? I think that on the last show that I had here, I indicated that we should not even wait for such a time to start with this whole asset declaration thing. In other jurisdictions, once you enter into public office, you have to declare your assets and let everybody know that this is what you have and this is what you don't have. I think that the ministers of state or the government appointees that the president has appointed so far, they have no excuse than to ensure that they also declare the assets. And for me, it's not only about the asset declaration. It's about ensuring that the president's vision is achieved. It's about ensuring that the manifesto with which the NDC came to power is achieved. The last time when we spoke, we indicated that enough of the every day showing pictures, every day, let's get to work. And I'm sure that
the real work is on the ground.
The real work is on the ground. I'm sure that now you've realized that it is
coming down,
so they are all focused on delivering on the mandate that the president has given. And I'm sure that with the coming days, weeks and months, we should be able to assess the NDC objectively and accountably. Because now when you hear the minority say in Parliament that we brought a doomsday economy, it's laughable. Because at the end of the day, how many months have we made in government? So it is something that we have to look at as a people. Holding politicians accountable doesn't mean that we should do it in ways that are not a bit reasonable. once we do it in a reasonable fashion, I'm sure that the Ghanaian people will continue to hold us accountable.
All right. And our colleague, Kofi Quashie, actually our correspondent in Parliament, was in Parliament yesterday, and he has a report. So let's take a look at it.
More than 8 years ago, John Dramani Mahama stood in Parliament as President of the Republic to deliver his last message on the state of the nation. He lost the next 2 elections, and as fate will have it, 8 years down the line, he is back in Parliament delivering another message on the state of the nation as President of the Republic.
It has also been nearly a decade since I said goodbye to this House after delivering what many, including myself, thought at the time would be my final address to Parliament. God Almighty, Providence, and the unpredictability of life have summoned me here once again.
John Dramani Mahama says, despite the enormity of the economic challenges, he is not here in Parliament to lament.
Mr. Speaker, it's not my style to lament and shift blame when confronted with challenges. My approach is to accept challenges and work hard to resolve them. I have therefore not come here to lament on the state of our country. Though there's much to lament about, I understand why I was elected with such high voter confidence, and that is to solve Ghana's problems.
John Dramani Mahama says, just like he pledged to the nation to fix the Dumsor crisis when he was president between 2013 and 2017, it is on the same vein that he promises this country that he will fix the current economic challenges.
Yesterday, February 26, 2025, marks exactly 10 years since I stood in this chamber at this very spot to declare my determination to fix Dumsor, a legacy problem of power shortages. And Mr. Speaker, I fixed it. Today, inspired by the Almighty God and propelled by the massive mandate given to me by the good people of Ghana, I am moved to make a similar purposeful and bold declaration that I, John Dramani Mahama, I will fix the economic crisis confronting our country.
President John Dramani Mahama says he will fix any problems, especially the economic problems that are confronting our country. Now, the question here is, can he do it? Or is just one of those promises that are made during SONA, and then it just, somebody will say, falls flat, for lack of better words. Benjamin?
He'll do it. President Mahama will do it. For me, that bold statement where he accepted the Dumsor situation and solved it, I'm happy that our brothers and sisters from the MPP in Parliament yesterday didn't say he didn't solve it. They kept quiet, which means that even during their press conference, they didn't mention anything about the Dumsor situation. I think that our leaders that we elect in this country should know that we've been elected to fix situations. It is not in the interest of the Ghanaian people to vote for us and then we come and give them lamentations. I think that when you look at what the president has spoken about, look at the energy sector, a lot of challenges, but he has said that there are things that he's doing to bring in the mainstream gas production from Nigeria to help alleviate those challenges that we have in the energy sector currently. He spoke about the NHIS. He spoke about how to ensure that our health institutions work for them.
If we talk about the energy sector, looking at the amount of debt that has been incurred, and how are you going to fix it?
Well, so you plug the loopholes.
Okay.
You ensure that there's proficiency as well. After the Honorable Jinapo always indicates that if we are all supposed to be paying the tariffs that we are supposed to be paying, if we are all supposed to be given the things that we have to do, especially the players in the energy sector, I think that we would go far. We would be able to solve the energy crisis. It is going to be one of a health sector for President John Dramani Mahama because we don't have the funds for it. How we get the funds for it is what he would do with the finance minister and co. One thing I'm proud of, and I can state categorically, is that there is not going to be President Mahama or the finance minister come in with taxes again to overburden the Ghanaian
But people are scared that there'll be increments in tariffs.
No. So the approach will be to cut down tariffs.
Okay.
The approach will be to use other sectors of the economy to kind of balance what happens in the energy sector. Already the Ghanaian people are overburdened with taxes and tariffs already. So if you want to alleviate their plight, you don't come and add much more taxes to it. I think that, Rosalind, if we are able as a country to cut down on the waste that we have in the system, I have seen firsthand some of the ministers and what they are doing currently to cut down on the waste that we have in the system. I think that will balance to help the economy stand firm so that it is not only those at the top that will be enjoying, most importantly, the people that gave us the mandate should be seen living above water from where we met them.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting. So now let's take a look at what the minority, and of course it was expected that the minority would always respond to things like this. So let's take a look at what they also said after the Sona address.
To point out that, it will appear that the whole address was framed on the anchor or the pillars of lamentations and blame game, and if you want, almost even shaking responsibility of governance, of the fact that he has a responsibility to govern with the greatest of respect to the president.
We're all part of the transition team, and we work together in the transition. This is not the economy we handed over. We handed over an economy that all the economic indicators, clearly showed that we were on the right path, and they themselves admitted to that at the transition meetings. So why are you saying something different today?
I was happy to hear that he says a certain amount of money has been committed to the project and has been spread over. Government is continuing, and if MPP government was to be in power today, all these Agenda 11 hospitals would have been completed.
Without peace, can you function? You cannot function. And so when you inherit a peaceful nation from the previous administration, my thinking is that is the first you need to acknowledge and commend the previous president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the MPP administration for bequeathing to you.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting remarks from that. And somebody will still say that that will definitely come from the minority.
Yeah.
But do you feel that it was intentional for them to attack, or it was the real state of what they saw during the transition?
Well, from where some of us sit, we don't know the strategy of the NPP as the opposition party in Ghana currently, because you expect that they keep their government in check. I think that they have also adopted a posture that is not, helping the cause of keeping the government in check. For example, he's talking about the energy sector levies. Look at EXLA. We are told that within the 8 years that they were there, they took 45 billion. When they were leaving, they left a debt of 70 billion. Then you say you handed over a vibrant energy sector. It's not something that makes sense practically.
If you look at it
from there.
Yeah.
And so when you hold a press conference and you talk about Agenda 111, and the president has indicated that you've not even completed one of them, and you say no, the president should have admitted that it is working. What is working? So I think that the politics, the Ghanaian people have grown from that. You see, until the MPP and the NDC realize, I think the NDC has already realized that you don't take the Ghanaian people for granted. And MPP thinks that we can still do the propaganda that we have done this, we have done that. Look, in this era of technology and information sharing, you can't lie to the people. So I'm sure that now we'll not be talking about Agenda 111. We'll be talking about how to fix it, how to get the money to fix it. We'll be talking about the debt of 70 billion that is left as of December 2024. How do we fix it? Because the people have given you the mandate. I think that is where oral also comes in.
Yeah.
We are also able to plug in some of the monies that these people have taken away from us. You see, I don't think that the NDC administration wants people to go to jail. No, it's not about that. It's about holding...
It's as though that's the intention.
No, that's not the intention. It is not only about... People have to be held accountable. And whatever they have looted should be returned back to the state. I think that is what the NDC will fight for in the law courts, not to put people in jail.
Okay.
We are saying that you are wrong, you've done something wrong, you've taken the monies that doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the state, it belongs to all of them, return it. And I'm sure that the legal ones will also continue, but the focus should be on returning the loot that they've taken from us.
He did speak on Operation Recover All Loot. Of course, he says that he's not going to stop until these persons are brought to book. We went to Kumasi as well to take some reactions from the ordinary Ghanaian. What they think about what the State of the Nation's address is, their general overview. Please take a look.
After some hours on the floor of Parliament, President John Dramani Mahama delivered the State of the Nation's address, highlighting the challenges and then the current situation that we are in as a country. He also used the chance to re-echo his promise of resetting the country and also delivering on some of the major promises that he made during the campaign period. Today, we took to the streets of Kumasi right after the President's State of the Nation's address to gauge the mood of residents and also listen to their concerns.
I would say it's not the true state. It's not the true state. Because before even the address, people came down when he comes, he should just say what it is there. So you can't just come and then say something which is... What we are in now, what he came to me, there is something better there. He has to say that one and then say that there is nothing there. So all the promises that he said he's going to do, and now he's saying that due to this circumstance he cannot, I would say it's a lie. If that is it, then it means he was aware before coming.
No government or no president has inherited a smooth or a resilient economy. That's how I see it. A president will come, he will deliver the State of the Nation's address. What he will tell the nation is that, oh, I inherited a worse economy. You get it? So me, I don't trust anyone. I don't trust any president. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
It is true that times are hard. We are still in the difficulty that President Akufo-Addo left us with.
Actually, I heard the president talk about the doomsday and the complete of our ferry hospital, but I was expecting him to talk about the completion of the Swami interchange and then that of the LGBTQ. But actually, we are hoping for the best and then we hope to see more.
We are still in the same economic difficulty, but let's give him some time to fix it just as he promised. We are looking up to him.
After the President's State of the Nation's address, which has elicited mixed reactions on the streets of Kumasi, a lot of these respondents want President John Mahama to implement all the promises he made during the campaign period. For George.
All right, but he did say that he was going to do it. And, let's take a look at the education side, with regards to, for me, I think the teachers have been complaining so much about accommodation, and he has promised that there's not going to be any school that will be built without accommodation. However, we still say that the country is going through some wars with regards to our monies. So how are we going to finance all these?
So in terms of providing infrastructure in the educational sector, what I know is that we are doing a lot of investors coming in and investing in those. There have been times that during meetings we are told that don't bring investors that think that they want to come and take money from government. They should come do the project, and at the end of the day, the project will pay themselves to them. I know that we have a very big housing deficit. It was only during the NDC administration that we did the Seglemi housing project that has been stalled. President yesterday indicated that the deficit will have to be revisited and ensure that the Ghanaian people, especially the teachers, I have been to, during the campaign, to some of these deplorable communities. And for you to believe, there was a place in North Dai, they call it Branda Tonu. The teachers have to walk close to about 2 hours to get to the school where they teach. And when they close, they have to walk another 2 hours. No motorable roads. So they climb mountains and they come to teach the kids and go. one thing the teachers indicated to us is that they don't feel like it's right for them to be traveling this much. They want to be closer to the student. What do they need? Accommodation. I think that once the president has identified the problem and has said that, look, if we are building any institution, the e-blocks that we are building, we should also add the accommodation for teachers. This should be devoid of politics. We should all applaud it and ensure that we get it done, because that is the only motivation that will get teachers into deplorable communities so that they are able to help our children. We don't know who the next president might be in the next 10, 20, 30 years. It might be from that brother Tonu that I spoke about. And how do we get it done? We have to get the teachers there, and I'm happy the president indicated.
You know, again, the economic issues, I'll fix it. Isn't it too big for all these promises because of where we are with our state? We are looking at our CD depreciation. We are looking at cost of living so high. Shouldn't we tackle it one step at a time? Because there are people who are of the opinion that hold on to the teacher accommodation for now. Let's fix the basics before we go into these sectors. And we have the president saying that I'll do ABCD within this period of time. Yet there is no money.
Very well. So, Rosalind, the Ghanaian people voted for the NDC and John Dramani Mahama based on the manifesto we presented to them. That is why we have different sectors. The president is having an all-hands approach to all the issues that we're having. So in education, it's not left for the president to take a decision alone. There's a sector minister that is working towards it. And they have been given performance contracts. There are specifics that the president wants to see done. And so when he talks and says that he wants something to be done, it means that it falls part of that performance agreement that he has with the sector ministers and the sectors as well. Look, I agree with you that we shouldn't continue giving promises, but President Mahama doesn't give promises. President Mahama says those things that he believes that should be achieved and can be achieved. Money will be the problem. Everybody says, where are you going to get the money from? It will be a very huge problem. That is why, for me, I don't envy the Honorable Atukese Forsen, because everything hangs on him. And I've seen that he's doing what he has to do and ensure that there's not only public confidence, but that we are achieving and delivering on what we promised the Ghanaian people. Yesterday, I saw that the Honorable Minister of Energy has also traveled out of the country, meeting these energy companies and asking them that those that packed and left, they should come back.
The oil companies you spoke about? Right.
Yes.
Well, is it really true? Did they really pack and leave?
A lot of them left. A lot of them left.
Yes. No, it happens.
No.
So you know the funny thing is I went to Takoradi and they had left.
Yeah.
I asked you on purpose because when I went to Takoradi is dead.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but that's the reality on the ground.
Yesterday when the president said that, I heard the members of the minority giggling and saying that that is not true. But people that have been to Takoradi have said that it has become like a ghost town.
It's ghosts.
Everything is gone. And I think that it is something that we got wrong as a country. It is something that the MPP must admit that on that score, they failed the Ghanaian people, especially those in the Western region. I think that the president has also assured the people in the Western region that vibrancy will come back. And I'm sure that once the companies come back, we'll be able to do what we have to do.
I also think that one of the, and it's still on the same line, I think one of the most important things, or I wouldn't say difficult work because it's achievable, is investor confidence.
Exactly.
And if we're able to bring that back, if we're able to deal with that, there's a lot that we can achieve in terms of our finances. Because right now, like especially all those people that have left, now you go back to them, what message are you giving them? What confidence are you giving them? What hope are you giving them to ensure that when they come back, we wouldn't have to go back to that situation again? I don't know how the president intends to do that. Like you mentioned, that the Honorable Minister has gone to do. And I don't want to say it's going to be a difficult work, but for people to move and going back again to let them come back, that will be tough.
What I believe the president has done, that we know for a fact, is that he has met most of these people and spoken to them one-on-one. And he has indicated to them that as a commander-in-chief and the president of the country, all their concerns will be brought to book. So if they tell you that government is not treating them fairly, the president heads government. The president has given them the assurance that, can you come back? Whatever problems there are, especially when it adheres to the benefits of the Ghanaian people. So if they come back and they are doing production and our electricities are on, remember, we have a 24-hour economy to roll out. So they would also understand that the president will not take advantage of them because they are needed to propel the agenda of the 24-hour economy. President Mahama has a strategy and an approach that all of us admire so much. He doesn't allow the sector ministers only to do these kind of
which is a good one, by the way.
Yes,
yeah,
he's always involved in it, and I think that gives the investors that confidence that look, the man himself came to us. He has explained to us that come back, I'll do A, B, C, D, and they'll hold him accountable to it. The president is not that vindictive type. For example, what happened in Parliament yesterday, I said that you cannot do that during an Anado administration. There was a time that I watched the parliamentary vetting of ministers during the MPP administration, and Osechi Mensabos was there, Sarajo Asafo was there, Joe Wise was there, and when I watched it, I laughed, and I said, look, Ghana should not go through this period again, because for them, they felt more human than the others. Not to say that we are all entirely happy with the appointment committee currently, but I think that it's a stark difference from what we had in those days. Everybody has the opportunity. And so I'm saying this because we have a president that is ready to accept criticism. We have a president that will not bring the culture of silence within the media landscape. And I think that you will not believe it, but people that are investors also want to see these things happen. Are the media gagged in the country? Can they say whatever it is? Can we go with them with our stories? And I think that once the president has given everybody that latitude to criticize and to draw his attention when things are going wrong, I think that we should be good with the investor community.
And I think a typical example I saw of how the president handled some of these issues was when Honorable Afinyo Market was speaking and saying all the things he was saying. The president was just laughing. Some of them he would just smile along the line. And all of that. And for me, it's one of the things about him you can't take it away from him. You understand? He has a way of, whether opposition or not, he has a way of just laughing about some things that the opposition says. And I think it's
I think at this time, like you said, we don't envy the job of the finance minister at all, because he has to, whether he likes it or not, strengthen the economy, because boosting investor confidence, if the economy is not strong, they will not come, no matter what you say.
It's a lot of work.
They will not come. Having money in the system is another thing altogether. Yes, we're talking about the education sector, where he has also said that he's going to build the e-blocks and also make sure that STEM schools are incorporated into the secondary school. So it's not going to be a standalone again. Now, some people liked the standalone. They felt, yes, people who wanted to do STEM, they were concentrating on it. So they come out as technocrats. Now we are combining it. Won't it affect them?
No, it won't. We're combining them in the most proficient way to ensure that we achieve a lot. We are going to do a lot of things together. You know, you can't do it as it stands on its own. I've heard the Honorable Minister of Education indicate that the reforms that he seeks to roll out will do nothing but to ensure that we have the best in terms of education, the quality we give our people, our children, and also ensure that a country that, the e-blocks, look, I've said that the whole concept behind it, it was rather unfortunate that the NDC was kicked out of power during the time that we started it. I'm sure that if we had done this double track system thing, it wouldn't have been there. Because when you have the infrastructure, but now that you don't have the infrastructure and there's pressure on the little that you have, that is why you have the double track system. I think that we should look at not toying with the education of our people. And so with a serious minister and a serious politician like the Honorable Haruna Idrisu there, I can assure you that whatever is done will be to the end point that there's goodwill from the people. There is us being able to achieve what we want to achieve as a people in terms of education, and I can assure you that he would deliver.
In a couple of months, or maybe by the end of the year, which of the things that we have mentioned, we have said we want to achieve and all of that, do you think or strongly believe that by close of this year we'll be able to move or make some significant progress?
Well, we also have a 120-day contract that we have with It's also very close. So if you see President Mahama doing things, he knows that social contract that he signed with the Ghanaian people, he's going to be held accountable by. So in 120 days, he'll come and account to the people. I think that before the end of the year, we should be able to stabilize our economy. We should be able to work on getting inflation down. we should be able to work on improving our health structure. I think that in the area of health, there are a lot of achievements that we have as a people. And I'm sure that if we do things right, per what we stated in our manifesto, it will be one area that quality health and at affordable prices for our people will be achieved by the end of the year. Again, in terms of infrastructure development, I think that in that area, we would have to be a bit slow in terms of how we'll get certain things done quickly. Road constructions, you know that they've not been paid for quite a long time.
Contractors,
so
some old as
exactly.
5,000.
So if we go and sit before the people and tell them that we'll be constructing more roads, for me, that doesn't make sense. We need to work on the ones that are there that they have not been paid, and then for them to complete it and other things. But all in all, I think that the Ghanaian people will be able to breathe a sigh of relief by the end of the year. 1 year with President Dramani Mahama in office, it will be better than the 8 years of Nana Addo in office. That I can assure you. That I can assure you.
So the biggest issue is fixing the economy. It's how to fix the economy. And that is it. Yes. I will fix it. I will fix it. I will fix it. How are you fixing it?
Rosalie, you've come back again because you believe that there's no money.
It's not even about there's no money.
Yeah.
Day in and day out, we hear of when there's transition, we hear, when we took over the economy, it was this bad. When we took over the economy, it was this bad, but I will fix it.
Yes.
How will you fix it? By telling us that I am not going to increase tax. By telling us that I am not going to increase tariffs. But we know that it's money that we use to fix it. So it will be appreciated by ordinary Ghanaians if we are told the real truth that yes, if we do A, B, C, D, we will have to embrace it to be able to fix the economy. And not be told that we'll give you bread and butter, but we'll still fix the economy.
Okay. So, Rosalind, what is going to happen is this. There are different approaches that President Mahama believes that he can use in solving the economic challenges that we have as a people. There's too much wastage in the system. Rosalind, there's too much wastage. I'm not sure you've taken time to read the NSS report. And
the ghost names?
The ghost names. How much we've lost as a people. Each year, we go to Parliament, we hear the Auditor General bring reports, and you ask yourself the kind of monies that go down the drain, public servants taking monies that doesn't belong to them. If we are able to close those gaps, if we are able as a people to close those gaps, I can assure you that we will not sit here and even be talking about where would we get the money from. The Honorable Sam George gave an instance of a certain axle weighing plant where they were doing 200,000 Ghana cedis. Somebody came in there, started working, and they were doing 3 million. And then they called the person and said that, no, you can't make 3 million. So it means that the 200,000 out of 3 million means that 2.8 million was going into somebody's pocket.
Really?
Yes. Sam George gave evidence to that effect. That is why you've seen that the Honorable Minister, Abuja, has the first committee that he put in place was one that will investigate all these axle weighing stations in the country, because there was too much wastage. If 2.8
Do we know whose pocket it was going
Yes, we do. The Honorable Sam George gave all the facts and figures. In fact, that forms part of the oral report that the Honorable Okujeto Ablako and Co. presented to the President, and it's gone to the Attorney General. In the coming days and weeks, you will see the Attorney General unfolding the things that has happened in this country, where we say there's state capture. Rosalind, where there's state capture, you can never develop the country.
As part of the transition team, did you identify these?
Yes, of course we did. We knew a lot of them that the Ghanaian people are beginning to know. But the president was so swift when we were on the transition team. He indicated that don't go and tell the Ghanaian people that this is the mess, this is that. Let's get to know all the situations or the challenges that we are going to have, so that when we go to them, we'll not only tell them that somebody has taken 2.8 million, we'll tell them that we are going to put somebody there who would ensure that we get 3 million back. And I think that is what the Ghanaian people want to listen to. There's one that is going to come and the whole country will be in a shock. This gold for oil deal.
Oh, you saw gaps in there as well?
The gaps in that will be something that will shock the Ghanaian people.
How much money went down the drain in there?
Monies that can develop this country, that can stop us from going to some some investors to come and donate.
Monies that we could have used to prevent us from going to IMF?
A lot of the monies.
To prevent us from the DDEP?
You see, it is collective. So if monies that we'll get from the gold for oil, and then the monies that we'll get for axle weighing, and then the monies that we'll get from NSSS, if you put those money together, you can do a lot of things. So we don't look at it in a vacuum and say we are looking at this standing on its own. Look, you remember when in Parliament people were asking the government of the day that you are saying that this is a very good initiative. Come and tell us what is happening. They never said it because they knew they are going to be in power. Well, now they are gone and the books are there for us to see what happened. I think that we shouldn't do this as politicians to our people. It is not a good thing.
I'll ask this last question before KMA takes over. I just want to know, did we as Ghanaians benefit even a quarter from this gold for oil?
From where I sit, I can confidently say that what we were supposed to benefit from, it went to individuals.
Wow. Okay, yes. That's all.
No, my question on that will be, why are we not putting these facts out there? Because anytime that is mentioned that the transition team found this or that, the minority will come and disagree. And so if we're not careful, throughout the year, we'll be going back and forth with this, I agree, I disagree, it is what it is, it's not what it is, and all of that. What is stopping us from making people know that, okay, if you say you don't believe what we're saying, and we put it out there for everybody to see it, are we going to get to that point?
Yes, we'll definitely get to that point. Like I said, Oral has brought in a lot of complaints, over 2,000. Some of them includes this gold for oil thing, that people have petitioned and then they've investigated them. I think that the reason why the NDC didn't put it out initially was to ensure that we had all the challenges and all the evidence that we needed to gather in terms of what had happened when we talk about state capture. The state capture that we are talking about is not the normal state capture that we've had in other countries. This was bad. So when the president tells you that it's unfortunate that he's presenting a state of the nation and he tells you that this is not a good state of the nation, not in our history. No president has given us such a gloomy picture, but that is a sad reality on the ground. And I can tell you that if we give the Attorney General some few time, because he has all the complaints, he has all the evidences, he'll put it bare to the Ghanaian people. You see, when that time comes, just like it has happened with the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, where I've read my brothers and sisters in the MPP say that he needs to be held accountable. It will get to a point where the Ghanaian people will listen to the stories and say that, no, this person should be held accountable. That is the point we are getting to. That is where we have gotten to as a people. And that is where now politicians will have to know that you don't take the Ghanaian people for granted. If you are amassing wealth for yourself, and you are not even achieving or thinking about the Ghanaian people, then why should we all stand by you when there are difficulties or crises like the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta is facing? I think that the President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he was not in control. He was not in control because as a head of state and a commander-in-chief that he was supposed to be, I'm sure that he should have been able to see these things because Ghanaians were seeing them, Ghanaians were talking about them. And I think that going into opposition and having the overwhelming endorsement that the NDC and President Mahama got from the people, it means that if we also keep these things away from them, it is not going to be an easy thing going forward. So I would assure you, and I would assure the Ghanaian people this morning that, look, the NDC, through the Attorney General, will present the facts as to the mess that we met as a people, and the President and the government will continue working to ensure that we build the Ghana that we want.
I've been in conversations where people have spoken about the excesses that we have, and it has to do with the amount of monies that we intend to retrieve from all these people. Now, being in opposition for a good 8 years, and coming back and knowing that there's a lot of loots, and if we're able to collect them back, it means we'll have some substantial amount of money as a country. Would it not be too much for the NDC to deal with, to the extent that some people will be tempted to know that, okay, if we have been able to retrieve 80 million, and we believe that the 80 million, if we're able to put 40 million into a certain project, it would give us a certain benefit of doubt. So the remaining from the 80 million, one person can pocket it without we having issues with Ghanaians. For example, another sector, if we're able to, NSA, for example, if we're able to retrieve maybe about 20 million, somebody might just sit and say, okay, it's 20 million that we're able to retrieve. In fact, if we didn't even retrieve it, they wouldn't even know that there's such amount of money over there. Let's invest 5 million into it, and then the remaining 15, let somebody pocket it. Because you've been in opposition for a long time. Are people not going to be tempted to be doing that?
We are humans. And so you wouldn't take it away that certain people will be tempted to do that. But I don't think you can do that in the President John Dramani Mahama administration.
It's a different situation altogether now, regardless of how long we've been in opposition and how much money would want to get
if
within 4 years.
If you want to make money within the 4 years at the expense of the Ghanaian people, then you don't need to be a politician. You don't need to work in the government sector. That is a mistake that people believe, that people make all the time, that you go into government sector and then you believe that you are going to make it in government sector. No, nobody makes money. Nobody becomes a millionaire working as a government appointee or as a civil servant.
But in this case, they've made us believe that people make money from that.
Yes,
look at what happened in the last administration.
Yes, that is what I'm saying, that where there's leadership, where there's proper leadership, and leaders taking pragmatic steps, leaders not pushing away when people come with allegations, who will tell you, no, we are not going to investigate it. Akunta Mining has not done anything wrong. When everybody knows that Akunta Mining has done something wrong, it's all about leadership. So if you come into the NDC administration and you believe that you go to NSS and you make 20 million and then you keep 15 in your pocket and you bring 5 million to the Ghanaian people, it's not going to happen under an NDC administration. Accountability is the key word. The president will ensure that everybody is held accountable. So you can't take the people for granted for quite long, like we have had in the times past, yes.
How do you plan to be transparent to the Ghanaian people?
Well, the NDC, especially President Mahama, has been an open book when it comes to transparency, when it comes to accountability, when it comes to ensuring that there's freedom of speech and also freedom of expressing. I've never seen a president that has been held accountable and he has never complained by the media in our jurisdiction for quite a long time. Look, Rosen, you admit that during the NPP administration, certain things that you even asked the president. You know, there was a time that a journalist was asking the president a question, and the president said he was coming from the NPP head office, and he's asking the journalist, is it the place to ask me that question? And I find it very insulting, because as a president, you can be questioned at any time about anything in the economy or anywhere in the country. If you have gone to the NPP headquarters and you are coming out and somebody asks you that, what do you do about inflation? And you say, you want us to have this discussion here. I think that is not a sign of a good leader. Accountable or accountability to President Mahama will be, Rosalind, you calling the president and asking questions that are supposed to be asked. It's about me or any other person on the street being able to ask the president questions that he's supposed to be open and transparent with it. I had one of the people in Kumasi talk about the LGBT thing, saying that the president has to talk about it. I can assure you, President Mahama is one person. He will be very open about it. The bill will be sent to him. Whatever it is that he believes needs amendment should be amended. At the end of the day, he has promised to sign it, so he will sign whatever it is. I've heard the Speaker of Parliament indicate that he will hold the president accountable on this LGBT thing. So that is how it is. The Speaker of Parliament was there when Nanado refused to accept the bill at the Jubilee House. Now, there's a new leader, and the Speaker is saying that I know that President Mahama will do it. If he doesn't do it, I'll hold him accountable. So that is the difference in terms of opening up yourself to scrutiny, opening up to yourself to ensure that there's transparency. And I think that this administration of John Mahama will be one of the best that we've had as a people, if not the best. And I'm sure that with how he has started, if he continues like that, the NDC will continue to be the best political party for the people. Not to say that the NDC will be in power for 40 years or 60 years, but no, that is not it. But the NDC will always be the people's choice. If we are
that will depend on the hard work.
Exactly. So if you say 40 years, I'm not part of those.
Ghanaians have made us know that if you don't work, you are out.
Exactly. That's the point. Yes. So if you say you are breaking the 8 and we say everything and you say no, you are breaking, the Ghanaians will tell you that you don't own them. They will make their decision. They will make their choice. So I'm not one of those people who say that the NDC will be in party for 4
Let the hard work show.
Let the hard work show.
Okay, so Jabab will be joining us on Zoom pretty shortly. And when we come to you, Jabab, you have just 30 seconds to make your point. And when we come to you as well, try as much as possible to mute and make sure that your room is well lit and go straight to the point, okay? KMJ, I must say that I feel like it's quite a big task, I will say.
Yeah.
It's a very big task. And I'm just hoping that the president will be able to achieve it, especially adding timelines to it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the youth who have been complaining about unemployment will be employed, especially in the agri sector, where he has spoken about the crop, the livestock, or the premix fuel as well, to get more fishes coming. I like octopus though, so I liked what he spoke about it. And so let's hear from Jabad right now, what he has to say. Hi, Jabad. Hi, good morning. Unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. You have 30 seconds to make your point. Please go ahead.
Okay, my point here is about youth unemployment. And like you said, I listened to the sonar very well yesterday, and I have a little problem with how, especially into the health sector, although there were a lot of things that have been mentioned with regards to the health, what the plans of NDC towards the health sector. But much of it wasn't about employing the unemployed graduates in the health sector. That's what my worry is all about. But I think the government going forward should do something about it. It's very worrying. Most of us as last moment not working, and it's a very worrying thing to us. I don't know how you will feel completing school for 4 or 5 years and you're not being employed.
Right.
I don't know how it looks like in the eyes of many. So I think the government have to look at it very critically, because it's a lot, it's a whole lot. Somebody being a laboratory technician, I don't know what he can do in the agri sector. So I think all what he needs is to employ in the health sector.
All right.
And I don't think the government can tell us that the health facilities in Ghana here doesn't need staff. They need staff. So I don't know what actually the problem is. So they should look sharp and employ the health worker. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Abad. But you can do a lot in the agri sector, I must say. Everybody can do a lot in the agri sector. That is where the money is. I'm telling you, if you want to make money, go into agri. But anyway,
attractive.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now you have galamsey to fight with. You understand? If you put galamsey here and you put agric here and you tell 2 people to go and choose one, you end up having all the 2 people choosing galamsey, unfortunately. So I think that a lot has to go into making it attractive for the youth to actually get involved.
I think that the NDC administration is also working hard to make this galamsey thing very, very difficult for people to go into it. I think the approach that we've adopted in the coming months would unfold for everybody to see that it is not a good thing to go into galamsey. You know, you will not even want to go into it. I think that Rosalind is right when she talks about the young people venturing into agriculture. I've seen countries develop through agriculture. I've seen countries make agriculture the pinnacle of their growth. Look at South Africa, for example. They have big farms that they're doing a lot of what we call state farming. So most of the things that they produce in their country, they don't get from other places. Look, I listened to the staggering figure that we employ. We import chicken into this country.
Yeah, I heard it yesterday. I was surprised.
And you ask yourself,
palm oil from Malaysia and all that.
Yes, we get palm oil from Malaysia. So I think that we should look at agriculture as a people. If the president in coming days, months, or as a people, when we have this constitutional review thing, let's make agriculture more accessible and more profitable so that people can even finish schooling. Like he said, like the gentleman said, you cannot be a pharmacy or a lab technician, finish school, and you are sitting at home and they say you should go and work as a receptionist. It doesn't make sense. We should look at agriculture and ensure that we make it more attractive so that people know that when we go into agriculture, just like we at a point made galamsey look attractive, let's do it for the farms. And I'm sure that Ghana will be a country that everybody will want to learn from.
So he is saying that he wished he had heard more about the health sector.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that is also right, especially when we have nurses and other people complaining that we were laying off nurses. I don't think that is the idea that the chief of staff had when he wrote those letters. Look, there are a lot of backlogs of nurses that have not been employed. It is sad. As a country and as a government, I don't think that the NDC is happy that nurses are at home. But you see, when you make the public sector political appointees always being there, it becomes a problem. And I think that once we rationalize it and ensure that, look, everybody, if you're a nurse, you are treated just like a student nurse or a nurse graduate of an MPP chairman, shouldn't happen that they will pick that person and leave you. And I think that is what we are trying to do. The signal we are sending is that employment should be for everybody, not a select few or based on political connections. We will not be achieving anything if we don't employ the nurses and ensure that the health sector works. I can tell you that, look, the NDC will do it. We would ensure that...
This is where Agenda 111 comes in.
Yeah.
The more the hospitals, the more we can employ, right?
Yeah. So Agenda 111 also has its loots that have happened. I'm sure that if we go after those who have looted it and ensure that...
The 400 million.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. There's nothing to show for. You know, at the point we sat here and I said that we had done 2 of them at least, when we were all boasting about 2 of them. Then it comes out and says that, no, the 2 that we were boasting about were not part of the Agenda 111 and were not part of the monies that they claimed they had gotten for Agenda 111. I think that is a shame on us as a people, especially the outgone administration, that we could just not implement this flagship program that we believe will have gone a long way to help in our health infrastructure as a country. But like President Mahama said, we have to look for the money. Is it worth it that we look for the money? Is it worth it that we should rather use the money to develop those other health sectors that are there? I'm sure that the Honorable Akando and co who believe in the health sector will do what they are supposed to do and advise the president to ensure that he doesn't make any mistake in going to fix Agenda 111 when we believe that you can use the money in other existing health facilities. He mentioned yesterday one of the facilities in Kumasi that he's looking at to completing, what's the name, one of this teaching hospital, the big one that the NDC started. And then
KNUSC?
No, that's one.
I think this the guy even mentioned it, yes. One of the hospitals.
You understand. And so we look at those ones and ensure that at the end of the day, health is the wealth of a nation. If you don't prioritize the health of your people, you will not go anywhere, I'm sure.
And even the background where we even had this whole Agenda 111, you know, COVID actually brought this policy. And
exactly.
If you see another pandemic looming, you know, and rearing its head, you want to be very, very, very disturbed that we were not able to complete, you know, this...
I saw yesterday
for me to hear that there was no budget for Agenda 111.
Yes, there was not. There was not.
It was a knee-jerk approach because COVID came into the picture. So
on Agenda 111, and we don't have even a single hospital. I'm hoping that it will not be left dead if only $400 million has been invested. I'm hoping that the NDC administration will complete it, because once it's completed, we'll see more employment in the health sector.
Value for money. Rosalind, value for money. Yeah. So we'll look at the value for money and indicate that if we have to complete it. And you sound surprised that 400 million is...
I think completion is value for money for that as well.
If you are saying that you are surprised that, you know, Agenda 111 has that, look at what happened with the Palugu dam situation. Money's gone. There was nothing there. That is the MPP administration we've met.
All right. So Soko is joining us. Soko, when we come to you, make sure you unmute yourself and you have 30 seconds to make your point. So Soko, you ready? Join us. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. 30 seconds. Please go ahead.
Okay. So my take on what the president presented yesterday, I think our president was very economical with the truth. In that, a few days ago, his own information minister told us that the president has completed 3 Agenda 111 projects, only for him to tell us just a few days ago that the president only did 1. Yesterday, he said none is functioning. Well, I don't know. If the economy is broke, as he's saying, the thing is, just fix it. My sister, currently, cement prices are skyrocketing. We've been experiencing severe doomsday in the past few days. You get it? Fuel prices are increasing virtually every 2 weeks. We don't need complaints. You told us that you are coming to fix everything. So I think the talking is becoming too much. He's not on the campaign trail now. What he's supposed to do is fix it. That is the most important thing and the reason why Ghanaians voted against the MPP. So if he will be coming and then enumerating our problems, our challenges to us, then what is the essence of making that change? So I think the president should go up and doing and then fix it and stop the complaints.
Which area did you say that you're zooming from?
He said,
which area are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Adeso.
Adeso, okay.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. And you are going to Akisme, right?
Yeah, Akisme is on the other side. Akisme.
Kamje.
Yes, good morning, how are you?
Please, good morning. I'm doing well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. And thanks for making it.
Fantastic. Commander Pare, today you are so beautiful. Your color is so super.
Thank you so much.
And let me say my regards to the man at your middle there.
All right.
Mr. Quashie.
Mr. Quashie.
Yeah.
Mr. Quashie, yes. Yeah. Mr. Quashie will not understand me, but both of you will understand me, except Mr. Quashie. Kamje, you see, yesterday, John Mahama State of the National Address was super. The part which makes me happy is where he said he will pay assembly member allowance. That part makes me great because you have a president that have Ghana at heart. And the MPP should stop attack President Mahama that he should face the economy and it's not complete. Because you are in this country. When somebody is not complete, they will say that no, there's money there. So the person did not help anything. So you have to address the public or the Ghanaians to know that the MPP have wasted our money for debit before he can secure or he can solve anything. That's why he promised that he should help Ghana economies to grow. So MPP should stop attacking him and let the man do his work better for us. Akisme, God bless you.
Akisme, I'll be spending your allowance with you.
No problem.
Is that something?
The gentleman who spoke before Akisme indicated that President Mahama said he was going to fix the economy. He speaks about doom so. When you have a government leaving office and the sinking fund that is supposed to help the next government, let's take it that even MPP was not ousted and they had to continue.
Yeah.
You had $64,000 in the sinking fund, the dollar one, and then you had 140 million Ghana cedi in their CD account. How do you fix doom so? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you fix them? So some of these things that we talk about and indicate that, no, he said he will fix the problem, so he should fix it. I was thinking that as Ghanaians, we would help him and say that, look, we've given you 6 months. We need to see tangible results happening. But if you just come and say that is what he promised, so he should fix it. Cement prices were rocketing every time in this country. We had a minister of trade, the Honorable Katie Hammer, and you heard the things that he said when prices of cement were skyrocketing. Nobody cared. Today, President Mahama is there, and they say, no, prices of cement have gone up every 2 weeks. Yes, we admit that there are challenges, but we should also know that we are part of the problem.
I think the people would have loved to hear President Mahama say that cement prices are rocketing because of ABC.
Yes, that is the responsibility of the finance minister.
Okay, so
in the State of the Nation, it is about what he came to see. But the finance minister will tell us that if you want one kinky, which it's at 1 cedi or 10 cedi or whatever, to come down, this and this is what I'm going to do to ensure that it comes down. I think that we should all be anticipating the March 11 budget reading. And based on that, we can have a proper conversation.
Fantastic. All right, so Master Planner has joined us. Hi, Master Planner. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Talk to us. You have 30 seconds to make your point.
Thank you very much. Let me say special good morning to you and then everyone. Quick one on the State of the Nation. I think yesterday it was full of lamentations and complaints to the previous administration. We are talking about the current state of what? Ghana. You said Ghana's economy is a criminal economy that they handed over to you. But international gross reserve was $9 billion that was left for you. But when you were leaving office in 2016, international gross reserve was $6.2 billion. So how are you going to also describe that one? Was it a dead economy we left. If someone leaves $9 billion and you say it's a criminal economy, you left $6.2 billion. How are we also going to call that? You are begging with the president. Since you came from January to February, you borrowed about 59.68 billion Ghana cedis. Regardless, you are sacking the youth from their jobs. That is the current state of what? Ghana. It's not about the previous administration. Tell us what is happening currently, the doomsaw that is happening currently. That is what Ghanaians want to hear.
All right, all right, Master Planner. But Master Planner, I think what he said yesterday is the state of the nation currently, right? He told us what is happening right now, isn't it? He said that this is what I met and this is what I'm going to do. So he spoke about the current state of the nation. Or
and
probably you wanted something else.
About the current state. And I'm telling you, did he talk about the doomsday we are experiencing? Did he talk about the mass sacking?
He spoke about the energy sector.
That we have doomsday. He didn't tell us that we have doomsday.
So you didn't hear him speak anything on doomsday? You didn't hear him speak about it? About the ESLA fund and how much debt has been incurred in the ESLA fund and how much they need to refix the issue, how they have to go to Nigeria to get some sort of backing from the energy sector to be able to fix the doomsday problems? You didn't hear him say all of that?
My sister, he was talking about the previous administration that when he was leaving office, he solved doomsday.
So you didn't hear him say that we are going to fix it by trying to get, some foreign investors to be a part of it?
He didn't tell us we are currently experiencing doomsday. Did he mention that? No.
All right, Master Planner.
Master Planner, how often does your light go off in a day? Master Planner. Say again.
I said, let me land.
Well, I was asking you a question on the same line anyway.
He has landed. Rosalie.
Yeah. All right, Master Planner, thank you so much for joining us.
Rosalie, quick one.
Let me land.
He has landed. When he says that the president indicated that he inherited a mess, and he says that we should fix it, and he says they left 9 billion for us. He left 9 billion, and then the debt in the energy sector, as of December 2024, was 70 billion. Mm-hmm. How do you rationalize this? Sometimes I wanted to take the emotions out of it and look at what the president said yesterday. I've not heard any member of the MPP in the previous administration refuting this claim and ensuring that, look, we've run the economy down. We are not going to be lamenting. No, the NDC will not lament. But what we are saying is that we need the Ghanaian people to understand the debt that has been left and how we'll be able to solve it. Because we cannot go to the Ghanaian people and overburden them.
Yeah.
So once you are not going to be able to go to them and overburden them, you need to look at other sources of plugging the system and ensuring that you deliver on the promise. So I understand Master Planner when he says that the light should be left on. Yes, it has to be left on. That is the responsibility of every government to fix the problems of the people who voted for them. I believe that we should take it slow and look at the facts and the figures. Once you look at it from that angle, you would realize that what Master Planner and all the others are asking for, it is something doable, but not within a month or two of an administration.
Okay, so we're not getting to the point where we would say or would declare a doomsday is back again.
No.
Because of the number of
no. So like I've indicated to you, the president has traveled out of the country on private visits just to go and speak to this energy sector players for them to understand that they have to come back. He spoke about the West African gas pipeline project. He's been to Nigeria several times to ensure that these things are fine-tuned so that we'll be able to have mainstream. Toby Afede brought in Sonon Asogli, which is also having all the challenges that are there. So I'm sure that we will be able to plug the energy sector and ensure that we don't have doomsday coming back.
Very well.
So that is one of the biggest issues with regards to Ghanaians, doomsday not coming back. So we are very, very excited that we are hearing that doomsday will not come back. And thank you all, those of you who joined us via Zoom this morning. We are very, very grateful. Hopefully, the promises that have been made by President John Dramani Mahama will definitely be able to achieve. Now, one thing that has also sparked conversations in our homes is NSS. people, the Gen Zs, having to join the military to instill some discipline in them. They are not too happy about it, though.
I think that I've also heard about Burkina Faso, the new leader, coming up with laws, where young people are supposed to do one. I think that the future belongs to young people. Military training, it's not everybody who wants to go there. People want to do national service with different, not military approach. But let's look at it again. If it is something that we would all agree on as a people, why not? But if it's something that we believe that it's not doable or defeats the purpose for which the president proposed it, we shut it down and do what will help.
But Nigeria does it, though.
I think it's good. I think it's good. And it's not as if you're putting somebody into a military training. There are various ways you can do this without necessarily telling the person that go and carry log and
They will.
jumping around.
They will.
No. See, there are disciplines you can instill in people without necessarily.
Once they go there.
No. It's not about Rose.
Once they go
the person
into
is not, the person is not going there as an army person. Let's not.
But they'll
let's
train them.
The training will have some
training an army person will be totally different from a training an NSS person.
But they'll still go through it.
There'll be a bit of.
They'll go in.
A bit. That's what I'm saying. That it's not a total. They won't tell them you should go and carry law and jump in.
You cannot be in the military.
Even me.
You will go through it.
Rose, even me.
You will go through it.
That have not gone to military. We have this thing that we go to do when Samta was here. We went to the camp.
That is not the military.
And we go through. These are the things
military has something that they say. Once the president said to instill discipline,
they will not go and tell them.
Came to relax. Once the military, once he said we will instill discipline, the military has a mantra that they always say that they will wash away the civilian blood and instill the military blood in you. And once you go there, you cannot run away from carrying the log. You cannot run away from the fact that the first 2 weeks you don't walk, but you jog. So you can't walk, you can't stand, but you jog.
For example, if they say jog, I better see.
No, if they say
you see,
Kevin doesn't understand. You don't understand. You know what the jogging is? The jogging is when I wake up in the morning, 24 hours, I'm jogging.
Don't put fear in these people and they'll start telling you they'll not go for the military.
No, it is what it is.
Reality.
Before somebody will say that the president has forced them to go through military training, let's tell them what it is, and they will tell us that we don't want it. If they want it, fine. If they don't want it, then
one of the reasons why I didn't do military is because I'm a Bahas girl. And I saw everything that happens. The first 2 weeks, you don't walk. If I say you don't walk, you think I'm like, you don't walk.
But that is preparing you to be stronger.
So you wake up in the morning, even if you are going to the washroom, you are jogging. When you are going to eat, you are jogging. Wherever you go, you are jogging for 2 weeks before you start walking.
Somebody will tell you that I went to the university for 3 years. I've graduated and you're telling me that I should come and do this jogging in the morning. You know that thing? So that is a Ghanaian mentality. So let's rather prepare them.
As for the mindset there, we need a lot of because how they even understand this is another problem. Like what the conversation we're having right now. Somebody is sitting in the house and is thinking that, it's going to be very little of an exercise and all that. But on the other side, it may be a bit detailed. So if that person is not looking at it from both angles and what they would eventually get, then they are tempted to not even go to the NSS.
You have to do it. I like it though. I like it. The Gen Zs have to be disciplined. I like it.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Especially the mental discipline. It doesn't even have to be about the physical training and all of that. It's the mental discipline. For example, if a military man puts this here, you as an NSS person, when you come and you see it, to even touch is a problem because you know it belongs to a military man. When you leave there and they put government money here and you see it, you'll be looking at it, but you'll not be able to touch it because the training you've gone through here. So it's the mental discipline for me and not necessarily even the physical aspect.
Anyway, Benjamin, you want to say something before we go?
I read this morning, early morning, about Donald Trump's, Elon Musk stopping the Ebola stuff. And so that again puts pressure on us as a people, because what is happening now is that the US that helps when it comes to this pandemic outbreaks, they are now plugging everything down.
These people.
We have an issue as a people. We have an issue as a continent. And for me, I'm happy that African leaders are being treated like this by the US. This is the only time they'll sit up and discuss things among themselves. I hear that Ebola has broken out in certain parts of Africa, but the US says we are no longer going to help. We are no longer going to do any research into it. And so just like the USAID thing, this is also another one that will put pressure on all of us. I think that as a people, as a continent, this is the time for us to regain our continent. But this is the time for us to work together as a people. Lift all those trade barriers. Let there be employment among ourselves and ensure that we do things collectively. It is that way that the US will become irrelevant going forward. If not, we have a problem.
Very well said, and I love that. Thank you so much, Benjamin Quashie, for joining us this morning. We are very, very grateful. It's been a very insightful conversation, I must say. Those of you who joined us via Zoom too, we are grateful. KMJ, you want to say anything?
And we say thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise, and we want to believe that in the coming weeks, and then, you know, if the finance minister also comes out and put what we need to hear out there, we'll all get a better picture of what we're going to be looking at in the next few years, you know, 4 years to come. So yeah, we wish them well. Just like the opposition will say, they are wishing you well, and they are wishing you well. Some of you don't believe they're wishing you well, but whatever it is, if the NDC succeeds, it's Ghana that is succeeding, and not just one particular person. So we look forward to a lot of things, you know, changing and getting better.